Hey everybody, this is Oscar Roca with another Please Be Still Moments blog post. I did this uh, picture here in 2023 when I had a feeling that the cancer was back. And the reason I say that is because there is a war on me and with cancer, and every battle counts. Um, the one thing that I would tell you is today is not about me. Today is about, oh boy, it's going to be about me, of course, because I'm telling my story. But number one is it's all about Him. It's about God taking care of everything. It's about the person, you, who is listening or watching this, and they are in a valley so deep. They are in a pit so deep that they think that they can't get out of it, but they will. You will. I promise you will. Okay, so the valley's deep, mountains high, 2026. I did a study way back when, and it was 22, 23, early 23 into 20, summer of, I ended it right around the summer, and I thought, for whatever reason, I thought that it was to encourage others. Little did I know that it was the Lord who was telling me, son, mijo, you are going to go through some stuff. Satan wants to sift you, and be ready. If I could tell you to take some away, is the encouragement that comes from the valley deep, not the mountain high, because it is in the valley deep that we are guided, that we are led, that we are taught, that if we allow it, if we sit and say, why me, woe's me, then it becomes a pity party. And a pity party in a war, in battle, when you become very weak because you start looking, instead of out, looking at self, you are a hindrance, number one, to yourself, number two, to the person next to you, number three, to the army, in this case, the spiritual army of the Lord, and to the Lord Himself. And when we say, why me, it becomes about us and not about Him. Is it easy? No, it's not. What I would tell the person who is listening to this and saying, why me, Lord? Why me? Why is it always happening to me? Ask yourself, why not me? What is it about me that I think that I am better than everyone else, that trials and battles and war will not come at my door? And I will leave this three things. You'll see my up and down. You'll see the story, the sky high story, the deep valley story, the sky high story, the deep valley story, the mountaintop story. But in it, there is a protagonist, and it's not me. I am just a sheep that is trying to eat for the next day. The protagonist, the main character, will be Christ Himself. And if you allow Him to grab on to that experience, grab on yourself to the experience, let Him grab on to you, hold on to you, and take you through the deep valley, because then you will make it into the mountaintop. Whether here or there, I will be healed, and I'll explain this. So let's get started. I like talking about Mark chapter 4, reason being, a lot of Christians miss this part. And one thing that I have learned through my experience is this part. And the same day when evening came, or was come, he said unto him, Jesus, let us pass over unto the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him, Jesus, even as he was in the ship. You're going to hear my coughing. There's a reason for it. And um, I thought it was my lung cancer, but it's something else. And there were also with him other little ships, and there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship so that it was now full. And he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow. And they awake him and say unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? He's in the ship. He's in the boat. He's in the backside with a pillow. I can imagine. I close my eyes and imagine the disciples trying to row, trying to hold on to the sail, bringing him down. Storm is hitting them, and they're afraid, and he's asleep. And he, Jesus, arose and rebuked the wind and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. I've told you guys that this scripture and the ones that parallel this is my whole ministry, because my highly active mind, what people would say highly active ADHD, including my two brothers, where we would drive my poor mom, who had rheumatoid arthritis, to the brink of insanity. I can imagine Jesus looking at his dad and saying, Peace be still, peace be still, peace be, please be still, Oscar. That's where I get that from, peace be still moments. And he, Jesus, arose and rebuked the wind and said unto the sea, Peace be still. And the wind ceased, and there was great calm. And he said, Jesus, unto them, Why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith? And they feared exceedingly. So they got scared of Jesus calming the storm instead of not being scared of the storm and not being afraid of. They've been with him now some time. They should have realized this guy can do all things because he is Christ and he strengthens us. And they said to one another, What manner of man is this that even the wind and the sea obey him? The manner of man is that he was fully God and fully man. And what I tell people now, if you are going through some deep pain, spiritually, mentally, physically, if you are going through the deep valley, and you see Jesus in the storm and he's asleep right next to you, why do you worry? I could stop right here. Why do you worry when he is asleep? What I would be worried about now, hindsight, is if I turned and you saw Jesus instead of like this, he'd be like white knuckling the boat or whatever. That's when I would be afraid. But he wasn't. He was asleep. Psalm 23, a psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest, you, Jesus, prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint me with oil on my head. My cup runs over. That anointment of the Spirit of God. So you have Yahweh in the beginning, the Lord, Yahweh, Yahuwah. Then you have Jesus preparing a table. Where I go, you guys will be with me. I'm paraphrasing John. I go and prepare a place for you. In my Father's house are many mansions, and the King James are many places. He's preparing a table for us. He has anointed us, and the anointing fills us up all the way and starts pouring out when we pour ourselves to others in ministry, in serving our families, in serving our spouses, in serving others. We take our eyes off of us onto others. Even in pain, we take our eyes off of us and we pour ourselves out. So then our cup will run over again. He keeps filling it. It is an everlasting thing that will never go away. If you empty, he will fill. If you empty, he will fill, and it's free. If you are serving him while serving others, your wife or your husband, your kids, your grandkids, next door neighbors, neighbors across the street, community, church, where you work first and then church. That's the order, guys. A lot of you have it flipped where you think you have to go and serve church. That's great, but church is not where we are supposed to serve. We're supposed to serve God, spouse, kids, family, job, community and job, then church. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That's my ultimate goal, guys. Either here or there, I will be in the presence of the Lord. If you don't know and you're not sure where you're going to be, I ask you to find the living God that died for you and me. He was dead, and he is more alive now than ever before. The time for the climb, the Valley Deep Mountain High, Part 2. That's what I called it in 2023. The last decade or so, it's been actually about since 2011, has been an up and down experience for me. Please forgive me. I was going to say why, and I'll explain it. And if I don't, then you could write on the comments and ask me. With the mountaintop experience and the miracles of God, I have witnessed miracle after miracle after miracle. I stopped counting after 56, 60 something miracles, and he's still doing it. I kid with people. I do the little Zen meditation, but it's not the Zen meditation that gets people to nirvana. It is the God of the Bible who brings you into his table that he has prepared for you. The mountaintop experience is wonderful. That is where we want to be. But along with the highs, we've been in deep valleys, every single one of us. And if you're not, hold on, hang on, because you will be. And if you haven't, and you've been a Christian for 30, 40 years, and everything has been hunky-dory, we'll talk about that too. Sometimes we're in deep valleys that are so dark and horrible that it takes us to the brink of darkness, spiritual darkness, that we think that God has abandoned us. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? Ephesians is an incredible foundation for Christians. Ephesians, when Paul wrote to the Ephesian church, I don't think, okay, please forgive me, he was writing to the present church at Ephesus, but I also think that he was writing to the 7 future churches, the ones that he had planted through the Spirit of the living God, to tell them to keep their armor on, because there would be people coming who would say they were Christians and were not. Tells us to put the full armor of God to stand firm against the spiritual forces of evil. The belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the gospel of peace, shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit. That sword of the Spirit must be sharpened every single day. That helmet of salvation needs to be on your head. The breastplate of righteousness must always be on. If not, we will sin. We need to show others the gospel of peace and why we do what we do. And it's not because of us. It is a gift, a free gift that has been given to us. Ephesians chapter 2, 8 and 9. It's nothing that we do. It is that grace, that special gift of grace. When you're in the mountaintop, it is so easy to experience a backslide. Now, please forgive me and mind me, okay? Not backsliding like we think, but a backsliding that somebody grabs on and pushes you and pulls you down. Like the Godfather, right when I thought I was out, they pull me right in. I'm going to mess that up, okay? 2 weeks ago, CAT scan showed that my lungs, spleen, pancreas, left lung no more, spleen clean. I'm a poet and I don't know. Pancreas substantially, right lung tumors substantially, basically gone. They didn't even have a number. I was right there. I felt wonderful. But then this happened. While we were sky high, I told the doctor that my right side had been swollen. Now, hindsight, everything is hindsight. I had a root canal. I had a crown. Crown popped off. During the time I was going through all the treatments, I said, why am I going to spend that much money if I'm not going to be alive? I'm going to be over there, not here. So I left it alone. I bit into something about a month ago, and it started hurting, started swelling. Little did I know, and here's where I say you have to have the full armor of God, that the enemy used that pain, and I know it's the enemy, because just 2 weeks ago, we received incredible news when I saw the doctor at Cedars. They walked in and she said, one of them said, you're a walking miracle. We just saw your CT scan. Everything has substantially just shrunk. My answer, no, I just served a miracle worker. I looked at Marion and she knew what I was thinking. We were mountain high. But the experience in 2023, okay, we are at Cedars-Sinai. We were getting ready to be operated on, but now Dr. Brian said he's going to do the whole humerus, change the whole thing. I'm going to have limited mobility, but I have no mobility right now, so God's got it. Day 57. Then there's other stuff going on down here, but God's got it. That's how I fight my battles. Okay, almost. 11:15, 4:1, almost midnight, 4:2. Operation went well. Ivan the Terrible, what I call the tumor, is gone. And now to do a little bit of radiation on it and then to continue the protocol. We're gonna beat this. Look in my face. I have no doubt about it. I serve a living God, not a dead God. God bless, guys. I have to lighten the load here. What I wanted